Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian, but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
And then she was everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black. But, you know, I met her daddy, fine gentleman, Professor Harris. And the problem with her being black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica.
So the Democrats' game of identity politics is not working out so easily for them as it has in the past, because people are more aware of this crap that they're trying to pull. So the Democrats, policy-wise, have nothing to offer. They have a bunch of failed policies. We're looking at Joe Biden right now. Absolute failure of a president, trash president, completely destroying the country. But they're trying to run Kamala Harris, even though nobody voted for her, and these Democrat sheep voters are going for it anyways. They're going to support this lady because the Democrat leaders told them to and didn't give them an option. But they have nothing to offer. Kamala Harris is a full-blown trash politician. Complete left-wing nutcase. You listen to all of her policies when it comes to taxes, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to LGBT, LMNOP, when it comes to healthcare. Complete trash. So the Democrat leaders know they have absolutely nothing to offer to voters except for identity politics. So they're going to try to say, hey, look, Kamala Harris is a black woman. You should vote for her. Remember, you voted for Barack Obama because he's black, allegedly. So vote for this swarthy lady. Is she black? No, she's not. But vote for this swarthy lady. We're going to say that she's black and vote for her. We're going to have the first black woman president. Really? Having people vote for emotions, not vote for what's best for them, but vote for emotions. But the reason why they're having a hard time is because they're getting a lot of pushback. And they didn't expect this, because normally the opposition, the Republican Party, they just roll over and take it. Remember, people kept asking John McCain to speak on Barack Obama's background, his old pastor, talking all that anti-American crap. The fact that Obama spent a big chunk of his childhood in Asia and all of that, he couldn't speak about it. He wasn't allowed to speak about it because he was afraid of being called a bigot. But Trump went into the lion's den and just called it what it was. He said what everybody else is talking about online, that this lady ain't black. And now the media is having a whole meltdown. The media has been trying for over a week now to rein this thing in because a lot of black people all over TikTok, all over Instagram are saying, look, she's not one of us. She's not black. You've been fooled. And they're trying to reassure people, no, she's black. Stop with all of that. Please stop with all of that. Trump is evil. He's racist. Remember, he's racist. Just believe us. Please believe us. Please believe that Kamala Harris is black. This gaslighting is insane, man. And they brought this on themselves. They want to focus on identity politics, then let's have that conversation. See, they can come out and say, well, she's black, she's a DEI hire, as Joe Biden himself said. He literally said he picked her because of DEI. They can say all of that, but then when you push back against it, when you use those same words, they try to say, oh, no, you must be a bigot. And what's more important about talking about this is to expose her as a fraud. She's a South Indian lady sitting here claiming to be black in order to gain some popularity and clout, to gain votes. Really? But they don't want to have this conversation all of a sudden. If Trump speaks about it, oh, it's hateful, he's a bigot. But they've been talking about this forever, for the last couple of years, since they decided that she was black. As Trump says, she's turned black all of a sudden. But she's not the only swarthy person. Look, Vivek Ramaswamy, he's swarthy. Is he black? If Kamala Harris is black, then Vivek is black. But you don't see him going around saying, I'm black. I want to be the first black Republican president. You don't see him saying any dumb stuff like that. He's not running on identity politics. He was running on actual policies. But all Kamala Harris has to sell, since that box is old and dried up now, all she has to sell is a lie that she's black. a black woman. Another notable person in this discussion is Mindy Kaling. We saw her at the beginning of the video cooking something with Kamala Harris, but they put her in that Velma show, that failed TV show, where they reimagined Scooby-Doo, brought back Velma as the main character, but they changed her race to South Asian. And this was intentional because these South Asian people can often be racially ambiguous, like Kamala Harris. So they picked her because some people would think she's black. When they first announced this cartoon, people saying, damn, Velma is black now? Then some people came out and said, nah, I think she might be Hispanic. Is she Middle Eastern? I don't know what she is. Because Mindy Kaling can easily go around and say that she's black. She can go around and say she's Middle Eastern, South Asian, Hispanic. She's racially ambiguous. And Kamala Harris is the same thing. So Kamala Harris can switch her race whenever it's convenient to her. So let's take a look at this video from Rod Smith where he breaks it down, goes into some details about the fact that she's not black.
Kamala Harris is not black, and I'm going to give you the definitive reasons why she is not black. First of all, Kamala Harris was born in California to an Indian mother and a Jamaican father. Okay, neither of these people have black American lineage, all right? So first of all, that's the main thing right there. The fact that she's not African American. She does not come from descendants of slaves. And if you are not sort of clued into the conversation that's been happening among the foundational black Americans here on Twitter, there is a huge conversation that is happening between black people that were born and raised in this country that can trace our lineage and our roots back to slavery, back to grandparents and great-grandparents that were discriminated against during the Jim Crow era, during the Civil Rights era, right? So there's a difference between those black people that were born and raised in America and that come from that lineage and black people that are immigrants to this country. A lot of black immigrants to this country come from, places like Nigeria, et cetera, et cetera. They come from a lot of wealth, and then they come into the United States. They kind of cosplay as black Americans, kind of attach themselves to our struggles so that they can get all the benefits without having to deal with any of the generational stuff that black Americans have to deal with. Okay, so Kamala Harris has zero black American lineage at all. So, secondly, she was privately educated in her middle school years in Canada. You can verify this. If I am wrong about this stuff, I will get community noted. She was privately educated during her during her middle school and high school years in Canada. All right. What kind of sister girl, black girl, was privately educated in Canada? Not many, right? So this is what happens with these people that are not really black. They basically come back to America after having been privately educated and raised in the elites and all this other stuff. Then, you got to teach these people how to be black. You have to sort of bathe them in things that are specific to the black American experience. So what they do with Kamala, they sent her to Howard University, which is a historically black HBCU, historically black colleges and universities. Not only is Howard an HBCU, it is like the HBCU.
Now, Charlamagne of God, this arrogant sack of shit, this guy who let Joe Biden insult him to his face. Well, I remember that video, but his callers have been blasting him, talking about Kamala Harris isn't black, but he doesn't want to hear it. He's trying his best to push back against the narrative. He's in denial because he's idolized this woman for some dumbass reason. Maybe because they are both far left extremists, but he's idolized her, and he just can't come to terms with the fact that he's been lied to, that this South Asian lady has tricked him into believing that she's black. And he's talked her up for the last few years. So his callers have been giving him a hard time. Let's take a listen to one of those clips.
Camilla Harris, she already said that she wasn't black. It's all over everything. She done had interviews. Yeah. I understand. But she already said that she's not black. She identifies as an Indian. When she was running and she did all of that in California. Yes, she has.
No, she hasn't.
Yes, she has.
Listen, have you ever read her book?
No, I don't. I won't. Say what now?
In her book, she specifically talks about how, her mom definitely instilled her Indian heritage in her, but also told her she was a black woman and raised her to be a proud black woman.
They have an interview. She has a verbal interview with a white woman, and she says that she is not black. She is Indian.
I never heard that in my life.
I never heard that either.
I've never heard that.
Well, y'all might need to. I'm saying, like, when y'all say stuff, though, but look, listen, when y'all say stuff y'all do your research.
Well, she was up here. She said she was a black woman. She was up here when we
I've
spoke
never
to her.
heard Kamala.
Yeah,
say she's
because
not
it's
black.
convenient for black votes right now. Yeah, of course.
No, she said this back in 2018 when we interviewed her. By the way, why would we not think she's black?
You know, she went to HBCU. She's an AKA.
Okay, you can go to HBCUs and still not be black. I'm a Sigma. We have white Sigmas.
So listen, you don't think Jamaicans are black?
Hello? Do I not think Jamaicans are black? I'm saying she said she's identified as a black American. She's not a black American. That is what she said. At one point in time, she said she's not a black American, but now that she's running for president, now she's running from office, now she's screaming she's black now.
You got to say.
So now he's run to CNN and he's going to cry. He and this CNN propagandists are going to cry about Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Oh, how dare you say this? Let's take a look.
Showed up. Those are the exact words that former President Donald Trump is using to defend his appearance at the National Association of Black Journalists convention yesterday, an appearance in which he questioned Harris's race.
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
Of course, Harris is both and has been very clear about that. She spoke extensively about it, in fact, over the years. And to Charlamagne the God, host of the Breakfast Club radio show, she talked about it.
I'm black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of being black.
Absolutely.
And I was born black. I will die black. And I'm proud of being black. And I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody because they don't understand.
All right, Charlamagne the God's out front. He's also the author. So Charlamagne, Trump's not backing away from the controversy. Today he went online, he shared a photo of Harris wearing a sari in a family photo, and he writes about it. Your warmth, friendship, and love of your Indian heritage are very much appreciated. Okay, so that's what he did today. Let me just ask it to you this way, though, Charlamagne. Does he deserve credit, as he says, for showing up at the Black Journalists event yesterday?
Peace, Aaron. How are you, first and foremost? No, does he deserve credit? No, he doesn't deserve credit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn about any of this, and neither should you. Like, nobody in the media should care. Donald Trump doesn't have any new tricks. He focuses on identity. He focuses on race. He focuses on gender. He makes white America think that the changing demographics of this country are a threat to their livelihood, and he makes them believe if we don't take things back to the way they were, probably 1950 something, then America as they know it will be ruined. It's just a distraction. Like, Public Enemy had a album called Fear of a Black Planet. Trump tries to scare people with the fear of a black and brown America, and we have to stop falling for it. Like, we just have to stop falling for it.
All right,
like,
so yeah. All right, so today, though, you talk about it. You tackled it on your show because it's out there. People are talking about it. One of your callers actually called in and said something about it that I wanted to play for everyone so you could explain sort of how this makes you think and feel. Here's the call. What do you do about that?
What do I do? Is I tell everybody not to be distracted. And I would say the same thing to the vice president. All the vice president has to do is stay on message. All these conversations about what's black, who's black, forget all that. How you going to put money in people's pockets? How you going to keep people safe? That's what both candidates need to be talking about over the next 95 days. We all know Kamala Harris is black, and we all know she's Indian. And we also know Donald Trump is a bigot, and we know he's divisive. I don't need the media running Donald Trump's greatest hits over and over for the next 95 days. Donald Trump, as of right now, has no real strategy against the vice president. So they're going to say she's a DEI hire. They're going to attempt to weaponize her not having kids. They're going to question her blackness. Ignore it all. Aaron, listen.
But Charlamagne, I understand, but you're talking about the media, and I'm not taking it personally, but I do think it's important, in part because of that caller.
Media too, though.
I know, but yeah, no, I understand, but that caller calls in, and whether it should or shouldn't, sometimes it just is. If it gets into the ether and it starts affecting how people think and feel, then that becomes an actual problem. How do you deal with that? When you get calls like that, you actually have an opportunity to interact with someone to try to explain. Do you feel like people hear you?
Yes, I have no problem telling that young man he's bugging. Well, or you could say he's half right? Because yes. The vice president has said she's Indian, but she also says she's black because she's both. And that's why we need to ignore it all. The media should focus on whatever candidate is talking about the issues. Anything else is not worth the airtime. How many times is Donald Trump going to run the same trick over and over and over, and we continue to fall for it?
So, like I said, the left-wing media, these propagandists are trying their best to rein this thing in, but it's kind of too late. It's way too late. They're trying to convince these black people and other people in the Democrat Party to not believe the truth. Don't believe your lying eyes. We know we have all types of evidence. We know that you guys have dug into her background and got all these clips of her and looked at her family. But please don't believe it. Just believe the propaganda they were spearing. She's a black woman. She went to an HBCU. What? Rachel Dolezal went to an HBCU. So I guess if Kamala's black, Rachel Dolezal is black. They need to let her back in the NAACP. But let me know what you guys think about this. These propagandas. Let me know what you think. Leave me thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.